Rangers' season was supposed to be the foundation for something bigger, a genuine title charge, a return to dominance, and a squad capable of competing on the biggest stage in Europe. Instead, it's unravelling at exactly the wrong time. And now, one of their most important players could be heading for the exit. Let's break this down. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Nicolas Raskin has been one of the standout performers at Ibrox this season. Under Danny Röhl, the Belgian midfielder has evolved into a central figure, not just a regular starter, but arguably one of the first names on the team sheet. His consistency, energy, and control in midfield have made him indispensable, and it's no surprise that many fans have already identified him as a future captain following the expected departure of James Tavernier. But here's where things take a dramatic turn. That damaging 2-1 defeat to Hearts at Tynecastle may have done more than just dent Rangers' title hopes. It could have triggered a domino effect that leads to a major summer exit. With the league title now slipping out of reach, Rangers are staring at the reality of missing out on Champions League football next season. And that changes everything, because for a player like Raskin, ambition matters. The Belgian international is on an upward trajectory, and with the World Cup on the horizon, his profile is only expected to grow. He's widely tipped to become a regular for Belgium national team, and that kind of exposure naturally attracts interest from clubs operating at the highest level. Clubs that can offer both elite competition and Champions League football. And right now, Rangers can't. Behind the scenes, there are already concerns. Raskin is believed to be reluctant to commit to a new contract, which immediately puts Rangers in a difficult position. Do they risk holding on to him and potentially losing value down the line? Or do they cash in while his stock is high? Because make no mistake, his value is rising fast. There's growing belief that Rangers could command a fee in the region of £30 million for Raskin this summer. For a club navigating financial pressures and missing out on key European revenue, that kind of money is hard to ignore. In fact, it could be crucial. And that's what makes this situation so complex. On one hand, Raskin represents the future. A potential captain, a leader, and a player capable of driving Rangers back to the top. On the other, he's an asset at peak value during a period where the club may need to make tough financial decisions. Add in the absence of Champions League football, and suddenly the scales begin to tip. From Raskin's perspective, the decision becomes clearer: stay and rebuild, or take the next step in his career while his stock is soaring. From Rangers' perspective, it's a gamble either way. What's certain is this: the coming weeks could define not just Raskin's future, but the direction of the club itself. Lose him and you lose a cornerstone of the team. Keep him against his will and you risk distraction and declining value. Either way, Rangers are heading into a summer that could reshape everything, and Nicolas Raskin might just be at the centre of it all. In other news, McCoist has branded Rangers mentally weak, with Hearts' toughness the main difference between the sides. After being second best during the first half, Derek McInnes sent his side out with a tactical tweak and a renewed belief, and they blew their visitors away to come back and win 2-1, moving 7 points clear of Rangers and all but pushing them out of the title race. Rangers were lax, particularly at both of the goals they conceded, and McCoist feels it is clear to see there is a mental weakness about them. He reeled off a number of games where it has been the same. Asked if Rangers will now be doing all they can to stop Celtic when they face them on Sunday, he said on TalkSport, "You would think so. The only problem is they look mentally weak. I'm saying they've got nothing to play for, which is a ridiculous statement when it's a Celtic versus Rangers game. But I'm not sure they are mentally strong enough. That is the only thing that would concern me." You look at Rangers, 2-0 up against Celtic and played for 45 minutes, 2-0 down at Livingston and played for 45 minutes. Motherwell 2-0 played for 45 minutes. There is a common them there. They can't play 90 minutes. The Ibrox legend didn't want his criticism to disguise the fact that Hearts were the complete opposite, with their fortitude carrying them through. Take nothing away from Hearts, different class, he added, absolutely different class. A spirit to go and play, Rangers dominated the first half. But that is the problem. There is no killer instinct. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have a will to win and a mental strength, then you don't win anything. If you don't have all the strength and ability, and Rangers don't have that either, and you're mentally weak, then you have no chance. That is the one thing Hearts looked in the second half, mentally strong. McCoist also expressed his concern over a lack of a Scottish core in the Rangers team, with no Scot featuring for them across the 90 minutes compared with Hearts 7. He added, "First thing I wrote down, no Scotsman. It's incredible. You could say what you like, but it matters. It's a big thing. It's a massive thing." Our successful team was filled with Scotsmen, whether it was Gorham, McCall, Durrant, Brown. I could name you 8 in the team. To be fair, it was littered with top-class Europeans and others around about it. You've got to have Scotsmen in your team. They know what it is about. It paints a damning picture, and one that goes far beyond a single defeat. For Rangers, this is no longer about dropped points or tactical missteps. It's about identity, resilience, and whether this group has the mentality required to compete at the very top. Ali McCoist's criticism cuts deep because it highlights a recurring flaw rather than an isolated collapse. Time and again, Rangers have shown flashes of quality, only to fade when it matters most. The inability to sustain performance across 90 minutes, something he repeatedly pointed out, has turned promising positions into costly failures. At this stage of the season, those lapses aren't just frustrating, they're decisive. In contrast, Heart of Midlothian embodied everything Rangers lacked. Their second half display wasn't just about tactics, it was about belief, fight, and the refusal to accept defeat. That mental edge is often the difference between contenders and also Rans. And right now, it's an area where Rangers are coming up short. The looming clash with Celtic should, in theory, be the perfect stage for a response. But McCoist's warning lingers. If the mentality doesn't change, the occasion alone won't be enough to spark it. Old firm fixtures demand intensity, pride, and relentless focus, qualities that have been inconsistent at best in this Rangers side. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.